So I'll begin by saying, I think we all run into the fact on a daily basis that life is not fair. Life's not easy. And we can even say it, life's not fair, it's not fair, it's not easy, or it should be easier. It shouldn't be so hard. Life's not fair. And it causes suffering. So those moments when we experience life not being fair and being so difficult, we suffer. And maybe we can think one day maybe life will be easy and I'm going to work so that life can be fair. Well, we discover that it's never going to be fair. It's always going to be a little bit hard. But even though it's not easy, even though it's not fair, life can still be pretty good. In fact, it can be very good. And what makes the difference? What helps? What brings us to appreciate life, even though it's not fair and even though it's not easy? And it's an awakened heart, I think. A heart that's present, a heart that's awakened. I think that's what Homeboy is all about. I was writing a few things about Father Greg. Father Greg's heart was awakened while he was awakened when he came to the Lord's mission and began working with his population. His heart was awakened. And he created Homeboy Industries, what we have here, to help other people to know how special they are and to help them awaken their own hearts. Because it's a place that where the possibility of having an awakened heart is possible. Hearts that can easily fall asleep, that grow numb, hearts that grow cold. In a world that's not fair and that's not easy. And it's moving, when I hear Doreen talk, awakened heart. Greg was telling me about tearing up, telling me about the testimonials from last night. An awakened heart. The hearts that were awakened. And so, there's a story, that that I was thinking of that kind of speaks to this. And it's about it's one of the stories of St. Francis. St. Francis lived 800 years ago. And his heart was awakened, and he just wanted to love people. He just wanted to love everything. He wanted to love the whole world. At the beginning of his spiritual journey, he spiritual journey, he was praying to God and he was saying, oh God, I just want to love everybody. This story, I want to love everybody. He said, but there's just one area I'm not ready for. I'm not ready. But one day I will be. With your help, I'll be ready. There's one area I'm not ready to really get near to love lepers. And 800 years ago, leprosy, and I was telling the story at Camp Scott, and Ray was saying too how leper is not leper. It's not the cat. A leper is somebody who has that disease you can catch. It's not very common. It's not as common now as it was 800 years ago. And these people who had leprosy, it's a disease where your skin begins to rot, like a fruit that's just and your body just starts falling apart. And those people had to live outside the city, and they had to wear a bell so that the bell would ring so that people could run whenever they were walking, and they'd know they were nearby so they could run away from them. So you can imagine how these people suffered because everybody excluded, the leper, but these were human beings. But anyway, Francis is saying, I don't have anything to do with them. Anything, God. I'm ready to love everybody, but not ready yet to love these people. So he finishes his prayer and he's out walking. All of a sudden, he's walking along the road. All of a sudden, he hears ring, ring, ring. He hears the bell of a leper. He can't see. He's like, no. He's mad at God. No. I told you I'm not ready yet. And here around the corner comes the leper. And he goes, okay. I'll do it. And so he goes to the leper, and he hugs the leper, and he kisses the leper on the cheek. And supposedly, according to the story, at that moment when he kissed the leper disappeared. And Francis knew at that moment that the leper was Jesus in disguise. So, and the incarnation of the divine was in the leper. And I think too, Homeboy Industries, who are the people in our world that we consider unacceptable, that we demonize, that we push down, that we judge. And this is a place of acceptance, of community, of kinship, where our hearts are awakened to each other. And this is one of Francis's. I'll conclude with you probably know this prayer. This is a prayer, the prayer of St. Francis that he wrote. And he was talking to God, and he said, God, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love, plant love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console and help others. To be understood as to try to understand others. To be loved as to love others. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is with an awakened heart that we are born to eternal life. Really?